Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a pretty chill tack up with me type video, and I'm going to show you my current grooming and tack up routine with June. If you're not already, please subscribe. So since it's fall and it's a little bit cooler out, I like to do as much as I can with her blanket on in the beginning so that she can stay nice and warm. I know I would get kind of agitated if someone took my jacket off when it was cold. So I'll start off brushing her legs with a medium to hard brush just to get all of the dirt off and get everything nice and prepared for when I'm going to go in with polo wraps later. And then I'll go in and pick her hooves. June used to be so bad about this part and used to want to kick with her back legs, but you know what? She's gotten a lot better. I'm proud of my girl. So this is usually the part where I'll use June's Veritas TR Pro boots on the front and hind legs, but today I'm going to polo wrap, which I do sometimes. I'm using the Herd of Zebras polo wraps here, and they're pretty great. This was the first time that I'd used them, and they wrapped really well. I feel like using polo wraps versus boots is kind of a personal preference type of thing. With all of that said, I recommend that if you're going to use polos that you know how to wrap with them correctly, just because it can make horses way more prone to injury if they're wrapped incorrectly. So I always wrap towards the outside, towards the tail. I wrap with a pretty tight pressure, but not too tight. I want it to be kind of a compression type material in the way that I'm wrapping. I always start right below the top of the cannon bone and then wrap down to the fetlock and around the fetlock. Then I wrap back up to the spot where I started. Let me know if you'd like a more in-depth tutorial on that for YouTube. And if I'm wrapping, I'll also put June's tail into a little knot really quick just so it stays out of the way for her back legs. She's not the biggest fan of having her back legs messed with. She did a little dance there, but she's a good girl. Then as the last step that I do when her blanket's still on, I'll put hoof oil on. This is Hoof Heel, but I alternate between different brands. This part is pretty straightforward. I just coat her hoof in the oil, and I find this part very satisfying both to do in person and to watch. June can be a little bit wiggly in the cross ties sometimes, so she did a little dance here, but it's okay. Now I'm going to take off her blanket for the rest of her tack up routine. She wears a rainbow blanket that I absolutely love. So I'm just going to undo all of the hooks and fasteners and the tail cord, and then I'm just going to pull her blanket off. I'll hang it up on the stall next to her, and I will absolutely give her a bunch of pets. As a gray horse, June can definitely be prone to showing dirt more than other horses, so I like to use a rubber grooming mitt to get out any superficial dirt. She really enjoys this part too, so I do it a little bit extra, and I do it on her face and her neck, and she really enjoys it. I get asked all the time how I keep her so clean and white looking, and I really think aside from bass, this is the most important part, just keeping all of that superficial dirt out. If she's really dirty, we might go in with a green spot remover. I like the Cowboy Magic one, but we're not going to do that today. Then I'll just go in with a medium to soft brush and I'll brush her all over to get out extra dirt and hair. Since it's a little cooler out, she has a little bit extra hair right now, so it's nice to dust that off. I personally like brushes with a little bit longer bristles because I feel like I can flick the dust off easily, but any medium type brush will do. Then I will go in with conditioner and a rag. This is Vetrolin Shine that I'm using, and I spray it directly on June. It smells so good. I rub it in with the towel, but I absolutely avoid the saddle and the girth area because I don't want that part slippery. That can be really dangerous. I think this part is so great because not only does it keep her really soft and shiny, but it also helps repel dirt to keep my gray horse clean. And then using that exact same product with a wide tooth comb, I will drench her mane and then bring a little bit over to her forelock, and I will just brush through, get everything over on one side, get all the shavings out. She has so much hair, so things can get really crazy really fast if I don't have a handle on it. And then I will do literally the exact same thing on her tail, which I will maybe drench even more in product. I find this part so satisfying. In particular, when I do her tail, I only use a wide tooth comb. I don't use any type of brush because I don't want to snag on her tail and have her lose hair. She has such a beautiful tail and I really want to maintain that. And then it's time to start tacking her up. I start off by putting the breastplate on. It's a CWD breastplate. I unbuckle it and then buckle it back on. A lot of people take the cross ties off and then put it on, but I just find this easier. Sometimes I'll use a non-slip pad, but today I'm just going to put her square pad straight on first. This is the Herd of Zebras one. Then I'll put on my Olga V pad, which I absolutely adore, as her half pad, and I'll just kind of center everything. And then I'll put June's saddle on. This is the Antares Evolution saddle, and I adore it. It's custom fit to her back. I'll kind of put it in the right position, and then I'll pull up a little bit with her pad and her half pad to give her wither relief and back relief. Then I'll put on her girth. This is the Professional Choice girth. She just moved up from a size 48 to a size 50, and I'm very excited about that. She's filling out as a young horse. I put the girth on the first and the third girth straps, and then I bring the breastplate over and I attach it to the third girth strap. It just helps her well-fitting saddle from slipping a little bit. I'll leave her girth pretty loose so she's comfy. And then I'll almost finish getting myself ready. I'll put on my casque helmet with my visor that's almost always on it and my spurs. And then I'll attach my Frey Jump stirrups. I love these stirrups so much for relieving my joint pain, but they don't really roll up the leather like normal stirrups do after a ride, so I just take them off and then put them on before each ride, and it's really easy to do. I don't mind it at all. Our barn is very clean and organized, so our bridles are always nice and wrapped up, so I'll unwrap it and get it ready to put on. I'll unbuckle the reins and then thread them through the running martingale attachment and put them around June's neck. And then I will get ready to put June's bridle on. I'll undo the cross ties and take her halter off. I'll get the bit ready to go in her mouth. She takes it really easily. She's a really good girl. I'll pull the bridle on over her ears and pull her really thick forelock through. And then I'll go back and just smooth her hair back out. I'll buckle her noseband and her throat latch and her flash. As a general rule, once you have everything tightened, you want to be able to put 2 fingers in between the noseband and a hand in between the throat latch, and the flash should be tight but not too tight. June kind of likes to like nuzzle her head into me when I'm doing this part, so I always give her a lot of pets. And since I do have a broken finger right now, I'm trying to get June to stay still, so I put her back in the cross ties and put her halter on. I'll tighten her girth up to where it needs to be for it to be safe. I'll do that on both sides, and then I'll just double check her saddle fit to make sure that her withers are not blocked by anything. She paws in the cross ties sometimes. I'm trying to break that habit. And then I'll put my gloves on, which is kind of a process right now because I'm taping up my fingers. I'll get June out of the cross ties and take her halter off. I'll fasten my helmet, and then we're ready to go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe.